Hello, this is Brad Welkus from Network Pipeline, and this is the last of our videos in a series showing you how to use Schedule My PC. In this video, we want to show you some tips and tricks, such as using copy and paste, some of the shutdown options for logoff, hibernation, reboot, shutdown, running versus pause, and useful ideas such as birthdays, anniversaries, paying your bills, employment career searches and online training, dealing with social media, auction sites, couponing, blogging, movie sites, news. All these could be utilized, especially in a residential household, quite useful. In the business environment, it's also could be used extensively for opening up help desks, intranet sites, things of that nature. And if you have any questions about a commercial application, please let us know. So back in the program, let's just look at a few tips and tricks that you might do. The managed schedule is one that people should take advantage of. Let's look at the calendar. I think I opened it twice accidentally. Okay, let's try that again. Manage the schedule, and let's look at the calendar view. You notice I've done a lot of things here with Google and stuff like that, so we can get rid of a lot of these, clean them up. Let's just say we want to take WGN TV. Let's open that one up. It's set up as a recurrence, so that's why it's asking me which occurrence do I want to do. This one or all of them. I'll do all of them. Let's say, for example, you're not a big WGN fan, so I'll disable it and I'll hide it. Yet I'll keep it as a reminder of how to do things of this nature, like for WGN TV, how I'd open up a website. In fact, I'll look at the recurrence and see how my recurrence is set up, and I'll think to myself, well, is this something I'll use? If not, maybe not today, maybe a later date. Then I'll say okay. So now it's disabled. It's also gone. It's not shown anymore in the schedule. You can do this to all the items that I have in here if they don't fit your needs. So it's a little work to do that. It doesn't take very long because you don't have that many items. It just looks like a lot because of the recurrences. So if you went to the list, for example, you see I've just disabled WGN TV, but you can essentially maybe change WGN TV to examples. So let's make that an example, and as an example, it's going to fall into a different category that I don't have to look at potentially. But there it is, it's now in the example group in disabled. So all my examples could be set to disabled. So it's up to you, and really things you can do to help organize this might be drag this up here. And now I've got everything that's in the examples category. Maybe I want to delete these. Maybe I want to keep them and disable them and just hide them, just use them for future use, just so I know how Schedule My PC works and how I would build a folder, file, or a website, for example. The financial ones, you might be able to just go ahead and just right-click and delete those. You can do that if you like, and just go right through them and see which ones you really like or don't like. So just a little bit of a trick there that you can use, a tip on how to do that. Previewing contents, if I don't have a category set up, and this is the way I have it set up now in categories, if I do a print preview, you notice it extends over the page. We're making a change to that. Probably by the time you get the program, you would not see that. But if I close this and I do use the category groupings, I can condense this somewhat. I can change the column sizes if I wanted as well. And then when I do a print preview, it actually will, there's one of my contents that came up just now, print preview. I'm doing preview contents, I'm sorry. Silly me. I'll do print preview, and you can see it all fits within the space. So we're going to give you some other changes you can do with this, such as changing fonts and stuff like that. So No big deal, but that's something if you had to do some printing and you wanted to print out your schedule, you can organize it in that manner. If you don't want to use category, of course, you can use start date and start time. And now you can see what that schedule would look like on 11/15. I had a start date of 8 o'clock. It's shopping, eBay, it's a daily occurrence. So I have that ability to show you that or print that in that manner so you got space to print it in. Okay, let's see what else can I show you real quick that might be useful. I think some useful ways of doing the program could be doing your resume. If you pull up your resume once a week or once a month, once a quarter, you can use Schedule My PC as a reminder to do that. Pop it open because, many of us working in a resume, you don't update it till after you leave your job, which is too late, or when you're looking for a job. You want to be aware and have an awareness of all the things you did and not forget anything, because that might be important to the next job. So you can always add something that says, okay, let's do one, say, for the 31st of the month. So let's go to the end of the month, on the 31st. We're going to pick a date and time. Select the 31st. And we're going to do this at, there's another little tip. I want to do 5 o'clock, and to do it real quick, it's 5 o'clock and 1700 military time are one and the same. 5 o'clock p.m. that is. So if I do 1700, I don't have to play with the keyboard as much using the colon and PM. Does it for me. So in this case, I might want to do a recurring, maybe monthly, and the day of the week, or monthly occurrence in another matter, and I go to, maybe I change this to a category of employment searching. So here's employment. And I would use a file name in this case to bring up my resume, and I could put in Brad's resume or your resume or whatever that file name is. Go to next, and because I'm recurring on a specific time or an occurrence, maybe I can pick the 31st day of the year. Maybe I can pick the 15th of every month to do it. Maybe I can pick, the last Sunday of the month. That's when I'd like to update my resume. And I want to do that every 3 months, which would be a quarterly type thing then. And I can end this at some point in time. I can change this to 18. So here's my ability now to update my resume quarterly on the last Sunday of the month and through 2018. So just another little tip you can do. So I won't do that one. And so you can do those sort of things. You can use it for a shipment. Let's say you ordered something and you're expecting it to be received on such and such date. You could enter something at the UPS website, if you use UPS, for example. And with that, you can open a website and you can go to ups.com. And then you could preview it. Whoops. I gotta put that www in there. You not remember or forget to do that. And then I do the preview, and UPS should come up. And UPS is there. I was gonna go in here, and I could pick my location, United States, and I can move forward, and then I can put in a tracking code, whatever that tracking code is, and I can pick track. And this is just an example, folks. So if I expand this and I look at the tracking code that I had, I could potentially just copy what's up here, and that location would show me the item I'm looking to track. And I can Control C or right click and copy, and you can get to that, go back to Schedule My PC, and put that in place of this. So I've just replaced that, and it would be the tracking number potentially. That's one thing you can do. Another thing you can do is if you had a particular website in mind, you log into that website and you remember the user ID and password, that again, and the place you left off, you can do that again. It just requires you to log in again potentially, or take you right to that page. So a lot of little tips and tricks you can do. I'm sure you'll find some things you can do with this that I'm not aware of, and if you do, I'd like you to go to the blog or sign up for the newsletter, and you can make a contribution, and we can add you to the newsletter or in the blog, and we can give you some additional tips and tricks. So I hope you enjoy the program. We look forward to hearing from you if you have positive things to say. If you have anything that causes you trouble, send a note to technical support at networkpipeline.com. And thank you very much. So good luck with the program.